Hey everybody, welcome to the New Market Alliance Church podcast, where you're invited to not just attend church or watch church or, in this case, listen to church, but actually go and be the church. For everything you need to know about our community, be sure to go to newmarketalliance.ca and maybe even drop us a line to let us know you're listening. We read everything you send and we'll be sure to get back to you. Our worship service happens every Sunday at 10 a.m. in person or streaming online. We want you to know you absolutely matter to God, and you absolutely matter to us. Everyone is welcome and wanted. Now, let's join today's teaching.
As your river guide today, it is my job to lead you through dangerous waters and help you find a safe place to land. Basically, keep you all alive. But this journey today is not just about hydrating a thirsty body or navigating a chaotic river. It is so much more. It is a discovery of who you are in your own mind, your heart, your soul, and your body. And sometimes life is even crazier than whitewater rafting. Some of the greatest dangers we face aren't even the rapids around us. It's the currents within us. It's the feelings that we have. So if we were all about to get on a raft, would you think about what you're thinking, what you're feeling? So think about that as we start this journey. And before we launch, every river guide always tells you where you're going. You guys didn't know what you were in for this morning, so I'm going to let you know. First, we're going to enter the Rapids of Pain because we got 3 landmarks. First one is the Rapids of Pain. Now this might be challenging for some of you. If you've had experience with that before, it's okay. We're on it together. Just hold on, hold tight, because that's the worst part of the journey. The second part, we're going to discover the refuge rock presence in the river, the one who knows the river, and he's the perfect river guide. That's going to be interesting, isn't it? I wonder who that is. Finally, we're going to need a safe place to land. A place to land where we can recover and where hope can grow, and we're going to empty out our pockets. This process will give you relief and recovery from the journey, from whatever journey you were on today. So if we look back at Psalm 42, some of the phrases, let's just highlight a few of them. And I guess I've been in the water because the pages of my Bible are sticking together. I am thirsty for God alive. I'm on a diet of tears day and night. Chaos comes to chaos, whitewater rapids. Your breaking surf, your thundering breakers crash and crush me. What is happening? This isn't calm theology. This is an outburst of reactions from the whitewater rapids of life, and it's about coming face to face with the pain in our life. Psalm 42 does give you permission to cry, to question, to ask who is going to help, and even to admit that you may have lost hope. And maybe some of you are feeling some or all of that today. When we look at Psalm 42, there are different kinds of pain. Remember at the beginning, the pain of thirst, not having enough. But there can be something deeper that a glass of water just won't fix. It might be a more extreme physical need. It might be something of your heart and mind, a loss or a grief, and it just seems like there's no recovery. It's a huge loss. Maybe you've come today and you don't even know what you need. You're too overwhelmed. You wonder, am I on course? Is this raft going anywhere? Who's in charge of the raft? I'm certainly not. Or maybe you even know what you need, you figured it out, but you have no motivation to try. The pain is exhausting. You go deeper and deeper into anxiety or depression and loneliness, and you have no hope. Oh, that reminds me. I've got to start emptying out these pockets because I found something today which is hopeless. Have any of you ever fished? Who's a fisherman here or fisherwoman here? Who fishes? Quite a few of you. Have you ever had a tangled fish line? Did you get it untangled? If you did, let me know this trick, because look what happened when I was trying to fish. Oh my goodness, what a tangled mess of line. I found the beginning. Do you think I can find the end in here? Sometimes the harder you pull, the tighter the knots become. It's kind of like trauma and grief in our life. It's kind of like shame and addiction. It's sometimes like pain. We just don't know what to do with it. So what are we going to do with it? Well, today, I'm going to put a lot of things into my basket, and I'll show you later what to do with it. So what happens is we sometimes have heavy pockets, waves of tears, outbursts of anger, or even the silent inner crying of a soul wound that needs healing and transformation. We need a guide. We need a rescuer. And just like Psalm 42 says, we say, "Where is this God of yours?" And the rapids of pain is something that we can't even understand why. We often don't know why it's there. So sometimes we have to put the why question aside and just say, what can we do? What is something we can do that can maybe make a difference? Because our lament comes from where is this God of yours to who is this God of yours? And we look for the presence of the refuge rock, the ultimate river guide. We sometimes feel alone in our raft because we believe there's no one with us in our raft. It's kind of scary. We look around, we don't know how we're going to get through the rapids, especially for someone like me. Some of my children are here today, and if I had told them I was going to be a real Rapids River guide, do you know what they would say? "Mom, you can't swim. You're afraid of getting water in your face. You're not really strong enough, and I don't think your reaction times are a bit slow. Are you sure you can do this job?" Because if I was doing the real job, I know I would not be the person for the job. So who is the refuge rock in the rapids? In the middle of our thirst, our pain, there is a powerful connecting presence. There's a divine being. Who is this God of Psalm 42? We're going to talk about it, and I just brought a heart-shaped rock to represent the strength of our God, the strength of who he is. I love the Hebrew words for God. They give a really beautiful image of who he is. In fact, if you are a studier of the Bible, you know there's many names for God. In Psalm 42, even though it's a fairly short psalm, there's 3 words. One is Elohim. That means the mighty creator, the all-powerful God. The second name for God is the strong one. So he's the strong one. And I'll tell you the third in a bit. But think about that. If you see him as Elohim, the creator, and El, the strong one, you might say, he's in charge of creation. He made me. He made the rapids. So even though there's currents of questions, this powerful God can certainly take care of me. He created the world. But he sees us struggling in the rapids, and he doesn't seem to be there. It seems like he's not even near my raft at all. So we still say, who is this God of yours? Well, let me tell you a story that will represent the third name for God. There was a woman who was on the Whitewater Rapids. Now, this was a scary situation because everybody had fallen out of the raft. Even the river guide fell out of the raft. And she was in her raft, and she's just going down the river, and the rapids are all around her, and she is terrified. She's panicky, she's scared. She's going, "Where are you, God?" And then she saw somebody on the shore. And she thought, maybe they can help me. And as she flew by, the person said, "I'll pray for you." And she said, "Thank you." And he was gone. She kept going, and then she saw a big rock, and she thought, I'm going to crash. And a hiker was on the shore. She looked at him, maybe he'd give her some advice, and he said, "Try harder, you're going to hit the rock." And she said, "Easy for you to say, you're not in my raft," but she had to hold on. So she kept going, and then she saw someone else. They were quite a ways ahead, so maybe we can have a conversation shouting. So she said, "Help!" And he said, "I'm reading the manual. Then I can help you." And he was gone. "I just need you to stop this raft." And then she couldn't hear him anymore. And he was gone too. So she closed her eyes. She just knew this was the end. Okay, I'm getting ready for my raft to tip over. Did you hear something? What was it? Oh, there seems to be something by my feet here. I wonder what it is. Oh, there's somebody on the other end of the rope.
Can I come into your raft?
Who are you?
I'm the one who is the refuge presence.
Who? I'm about to drown. I need someone who can help me. Didn't you see those other people? They just gave me platitudes.
I agree. That is why I'm here. I have one end of the rope attached to me. Attach the other end to you and bring me into your raft.
So you have one end attached to you, and you threw me the other end, and you want me to attach. Oh, what do you think I should do? I mean, I don't even know who this is. I mean, they weren't giving me platitudes. I wonder what's going to happen. What do you think I should do? Do you think I should take a chance and attach the rope to me? Who thinks I should do that? Oh, there's a few of you. And who thinks I should never do that? That's just... Oh, and there's a lot of you undecided. Okay, that's actually good. We're not taking a vote on this because I get to decide. Okay, I think I would attach it. So I'm just going to hold this rope for a minute because I want to tell you the rest of the story. He didn't stop the rapids, but he held on to her for the rest of the ride. She felt safe. Somehow, even the rest of the journey was easier because she wasn't alone. And when they got to the end of the rapids, he found a quiet place to land, and he stayed with her even then, still attached to her, making sure she was okay. So we need to find more about who that was on the other end of the rope. Because the ones on the shore had good intentions. Their ideas were good in some situations, but when you're in crisis, you need something more. You need someone to get into your boat. Because once it was attached, she could pull, and he was in the boat with her. So, what does Yahweh do? Because that's the third name for God. Yahweh. And Yahweh means a covenant name, which is Lord. Yahweh builds a permanent connection between himself and us. And he will never let go of his end, and you have the choice what to do with this end when he throws you the rescue rope. He promises to always love you, to be with you. That relationship is unbreakable on his end. He's the rescuer. He's the one who promises to love me all day and sing songs through the night. Oh, doesn't that remind you when we were reading Psalm 42 that we had tears day and night? And now we've got Yahweh with us day and night. But how do we know he's there? Because we're in the rapids. We got the currents within us. There's a verse that says we can fix, in Psalm 42, that we can fix our eyes on him. So think about this. If you imagine yourself in a raft, you're going through the rapids. You could look at the rapids. That's scary. You could look at the currents within yourself and say, I don't really feel like I can do this. Or you could fix your eyes on the one with you in the raft, knowing that that person, that Yahweh, is going to take care of you. And what if we forget and we start looking in other places? There's another verse in Psalm 42 that says, we can rehearse everything we know about him. What does that mean? When you rehearse everything you know about God, it means you're remembering all those times when he was with you. And you can think about those God stories so that when you're in a time in a raft, you can remember the times when you were in the shore or when things were easier, or the last time you were in Psalm 42 raft and what he helped you to do. And do you know what's really interesting is if we made a knot in this rope to represent the hard times that I have, does anyone know if a knot in a rope makes it weaker or stronger? If we keep putting knots in, let's say I was going to have other people who also needed something to hold on to. Would it be more helpful to have a knot to hold on to or just the rope? Maybe a knot to hold on to. Think about whipping around the raft and we can actually hold on to the rope because this is a strong rope. But a knot can represent our burdens, but it can also represent the strong and deep relationship we have with him, even in those times. So, Then we can say, instead of, where is this God of yours? Who is my God? We can say, he is my God. He is my Yahweh. Because God always meets us in the river, and he's waiting to enter the raft. But it takes two to make a covenant relationship. Just pick up the rescue rope. You decide if you want to attach one end to you from him. And then you will be attached. So, let's move on to the landmarks of the Rapids of Pain. I can let go of that because we got her safe on shore now. We've passed the landmarks of the Rapids of Pain. We've discovered the presence of Yahweh in the middle of the river. Now we're ready to land on safe ground. Aren't you ready to land on safe ground? That was quite a ride. Now, once we land, we wonder how to recover from the journey. So, we start by emptying our pockets of pain, and all the barriers that might keep us from enjoying the presence of Yahweh. How do we empty out our pockets? Let's talk about pockets. I found out something very interesting this morning when I was getting dressed. I got dressed very quickly, and I went to put my hands in my pockets, in my pants, and I had them on backwards. Do you know backwards pants? You can't use your pockets properly. It's like very awkward. So there's something about pockets. Why do we have pockets? Pockets will carry our valuables. They'll keep our hands free. They'll keep things safe in our pockets. They'll protect things. They'll make it easier. But pockets can burden us down. Have you ever had something heavy in your pocket and you have to keep itching up your pants and you're just walking kind of funny because you got all this in your pocket? And you know what? The contents of pockets could even interfere with the rapids ride. So if I was a real river guide, I would have told all of you at the beginning to empty out your pockets. Because your phone could fall in the river, your keys could be lost, your wallet will get soaked, loose items might go around the raft and hurt someone, heavy objects in your pocket will weigh you down. But in life, do you know that some of you have very full pockets? And there's different ways that your pockets can be full. I've got a lot of heavy things in this vest. I will be glad to lighten the load. How many pockets do you think are in this vest first? I got pockets, I got pockets, I got pockets. Anybody want to guess how many pockets? Someone said 10, someone said 21. Any other guesses? This vest has 27 pockets. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to empty out every single one, or we would be here way past our time. But let's talk about some of the things in our pockets. So, let's start by looking at how they relate to emptying out our pockets and then putting them in the basket. Okay, let's see what I have here. Oh, this one, pain and illness. Being sick for a day is hard enough, and having a headache for a week, but what if you have a terminal illness? What if you have chronic pain? Does pain and illness ever get between us and God, or does it make it hard to trust him? I think we'll put that one in the basket. Let's see what else we have. Oh, I have a tissue. Yeah, remember those tears day and night? Has anyone ever had something sad happen? I think all of us have on some level. But pain and grief can not just include loss of something simple that we just lose. It can be something more, like death, like divorce, like a loss of career, or a loss of health, or a loss of mobility, or even a loss of your identity. Let's put that one in there. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, someone wrote me a note. I better check it before I read it to you, right? Someone put a note in my pocket that said it's very important. I forgot. Oh, final bill due today. Wow, they passed that to me right before the raft ride. You know what, I did forget to pay it, but boy, that reminds me. You know, sometimes we just don't have enough money for things, we don't have a job, or we have a job that is so demanding. So that could be something between us and God. Let's put that in there. I wonder if there's anything else. We're getting lighter here. I wonder what else we can find. Oh, time. Is time ever a problem in your relationship with Yahweh? It can be time that we're not using well. It can be pressure. It can be busyness. It can be deadlines. It might be, I take care of everyone else with my time, and I don't have any time for me and God. So time, that can be a big one. Okay, I think we're getting lighter. We're doing pretty good here. Oh, guess what? I didn't tell you guys this at the beginning, because it's something that's hard to admit, but I got secret pockets. Do you know why people have secret pockets? Because they don't really want to tell people about certain things, or they don't want to share things, and we want to pretend, I'm just fine. Even when we go to church, we come in and it's okay. But you know what? Sometimes we even hide those pockets from ourselves. So, do you want to see what's in my secret pockets? Oh, you don't want to see them? Oh, okay, you do. Good. Okay. Let's see what we can find here. Sunglasses. You know, whenever I wear sunglasses, now people are going to watch me for this one. If I feel like that, you know that question, how are you doing? And you want to say, I'm fine, or you don't really want to show, maybe you have been crying, or there's been some heavy times, so you put the sunglasses on. And the sunglasses keep you safe from other people asking more questions sometimes. Okay, what else is here? Oh, a mirror. I hate mirrors. Are you the person who says, I hate how I look, I hate who I am, oh, I'm just not enough? Shame. Sometimes we just feel a lot of shame in our life from ourselves or from other people. Let's put that one, because that can get in the way of your relationship with Yahweh. I feel something really heavy down here. I'm just wondering what it is. I was feeling some, oh, there it is. Oh, this is something fun. This is a toy from when I was a child. Yeah, oh, broke. Yeah, you know, I had a lot of fun playing with this, but the brokenness kind of remembers me that there was some childhood trauma, there were some bad memories. Sometimes those get in the way. I think I'll throw that one away. Oh, that one went with a bang. Now let's see, I think there's something else in here. Can feel something moving. What is it? It really shifted. I'm getting them empty. Maybe it's on the other side. I'm just feeling there's something else. Well, it may have fallen off, and that's kind of cool if it did, because that was a burden. I'll tell you what it was. It was a chain to represent addiction. A chain which shows addiction could be to drugs, alcohol, porn, could be gaming, could be spending money, it could be even good things like a person or a job or exercise, and we think that's more important than Yahweh. Okay, so that we would definitely throw in there. So who can help us heal from this? If we think about all these pockets and the emptying out, oh, I got one more here in my pants. This one, many of you carry in your pocket all the time. Who carries their phone in their pocket? Do you think a phone could ever get in the way? Because there's a lot of good things about a phone. But what if you believe in the social media presence instead of who Yahweh says you are? Maybe you look at the posts and the things people say, and you kind of think that's more important than Yahweh. Or maybe you got a really bad phone call. Or maybe people are arguing with you over texting. So that can get in the way sometimes of God. Or even the time you spend on your phone. There's the other piece. I found something else here heavy. Oh, but this is a good thing. Flashlight. Have you ever had something in your pocket and you just know it's the answer? You know it's going to help you. Every time you have stress or you need help, and you just pull it out, and then you just turn it on, and you turn it on. It doesn't work. It's a dead flashlight. It's kind of a hopeless thing, just like that fishing line. And sometimes we have carry things in our pocket that we think are going to help us, and they don't. And do you know what's the hardest thing about emptying out your pockets? Is when you empty them out and you get a big basket full of things out of your pockets, they jump right back in again sometimes. And you take them out and they jump in again. But if you can empty out your pockets and spend some time with Yahweh filling your pockets, then you will find there's a different place to be. So here's something that I have in my pocket that I'm going to give each of you today. A blue ribbon heart. And it says on it, Yahweh, Psalm 42. Jaden is actually a very patient person because she made a bunch of these hearts for you today. And on the way out, each one of you will get a reminder of what we talked about today, and whether you're in a good time or not a good time, you will be able to remember that Yahweh is your God, and Psalm 42 is the reminder. And when you look at the blue rope, this won't rescue you, but it reminds you of the ultimate river guide who is your rescuer. And you can pray to Yahweh and know he is your God. I want to do an exercise with you today. Have you ever listened to a sermon and you think, tomorrow I'm going to do that? And then you get to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, oh, I forgot. What was it I was supposed to do? We're going to do it right now. So I hope you're brave. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to come up here. I'm going to ask you to do something in your seat. I'm going to ask you right now to empty out your pockets. You might have to stand up. You might have to wiggle around. But I want you to take out at least a few things, if not everything in your pocket, and put it in your hands or on your lap. And some of you are saying, oh, I got by easy, I don't have pockets. But you have a purse, you have a tote, you have a backpack. Whatever you brought with you here today, I want you to put it on your lap right now. I'm not going to ask you what's in it. We're just going to do a little exercise with it. Now, as you get everything out of your pocket and you look at what's in your hand, I also want you to think about the secret pockets in your life. Maybe some of those pieces I mentioned are in your secret pockets that nobody sees. So, as you reflect on them, I want you to think about, what do the contents of all of this mean? If I'm looking at everything that I uncovered today, what does it mean? What does it represent? Your responsibilities, maybe the keys to your home, your work, family connections, social media, your meds, your identity in your wallet, your credit cards. Everything in your life sometimes is sitting in your lap. And maybe Yahweh won't take away the pain or the tears or even the responsibilities, but he can give you his presence in all of it. So when you empty out the pockets of your life, and it says in Psalms, emptying out the pockets over and over, because don't think this is going to be one thing you do today. You might do it tomorrow and the next day and many times in a day. When you empty out the pockets of your life and ask for Yahweh to come and fill you with himself, he becomes your comforter, your rescuer, your Yahweh. So right now, I'm going to have you reflect on that. I'm just going to give you a little bit of silence to reflect. And then after we reflect, we're going to say a prayer. So just enjoy the silence to reflect, to think about, what does all of this mean that's sitting in front of me? What is in my hands? What is in that purse? And what does that mean in my life? So now you're reflecting, and you might decide to keep holding your item, or you might decide to hold your hands out for this prayer, like a prayer of surrender. If you want to put your things aside to do the prayer of surrender, I'm going to say a prayer with you. Yahweh, today we come before you with the contents of our pockets. Some of us hold keys, wallets, phones, purses, and bags. You know that these are the symbols of the burdens of our hearts. Some of us are thirsty. Some of us are exhausted. Some of us feel like the rapids are drowning us today. And some of us are asking, where are you, God? So today, through Psalm 42, you have reminded us that you were always with us, even in the overwhelming chaos of the rapids. Thank you that you didn't stay on the shore. Thank you that you stepped into our world, Jesus, and you entered into our suffering and even death for us. And we hear your gentle invitation not to paddle harder, not to pretend we're okay, but simply to wait beside us until we invite you into the raft. So today, with open hands, we surrender everything we have been carrying, our fears, our grief, our shame, our need to be in control. We put forward our unanswered questions, our wounds, our hopes, and maybe even our lack of hope today. We even put ourselves into your hands. Come, Lord Jesus, be our guide in the rapids. Be the living water for our thirsty souls. Help us also to notice others who are struggling in their own currents, and give us courage to step into the water with them and even to sit with them in their raft. Teach us to listen before we speak, to love before we explain, and to be present even as we are guided by your presence, Yahweh. And whether life is dry or overwhelming, whether it's too much or too little, whether we even feel your presence or not, remind us, even with this Psalm 42 Yahweh blue ribbon, that you are near. You are our heart, and our hands are open to empty out our pockets and to fill them with you. You alone are our Savior and our covenant Yahweh God. And all God's people said, Amen.